This hangout is live.
All right. Here we are again, day 2 of Coach Manny's Marketing Automation Boot Camp here in Glassboro, New Jersey, on the campus of Rowan University at the Courtyard Marriott Hotel. So how's it going so far, Manny? Day 2? People still alive and kicking?
We're pumped up, aren't we?
All right.
We are pumped up. We had a heck of a morning. Why don't you tell them about that morning a little bit?
Yeah, well, before we get to the morning, I want to go back to yesterday afternoon after we left you, because we had some fantastic speakers. Janet Garrity comes out, and she's a content expert. And, you know, a couple things I got out of that, which I didn't know, she said it's all about the headline. Now, being a former, what'd she say, reporter, you have to grab people's attention right away. For instance, LinkedIn. If I'm going to do something on LinkedIn or I'm going to write a blog, within the first 2-3 seconds, I want to capture the image. I want to capture you, get you down there. So she says, you know what? Write down what you want to put on your blog, and then go to paragraph 3. And that should be your first paragraph. Remember she was saying that?
Oh, that was great. And I was looking at some of my stuff, and I'm like, yep, I need to move this to the front, right?
That's right.
I got all this garbage in the front. And further, she said, take them first 2 paragraphs, move them to the bottom, because then you can tell that stuff about people. But she was really good. And we had a mastermind after that yesterday, and Janet was there sharing some stuff with us. And we had, about 10 people
Oh,
there.
yeah, we'll get to the mastermind a little bit.
Right.
You know, the other thing that Janet said to me, and this was a question, a lot of people don't know the answer, but I think she clarified it, was when you're publishing on LinkedIn or Facebook somebody else's material, you know, was that legal? And she said, the key is this: if it's already been published, and as long as you recognize the author, then everything's fine, right? That's what she was saying yesterday.
Basically.
Yeah, so, I mean, that was good to know, because a lot of people want to, you know, push things out there that they maybe read in, you know, a magazine or online or in the newspaper, whatever. So there you go, for all those of you who are thinking about publishing something. Quick little thing. That's about it.
Yeah. And in the afternoon, of course, we had some more stuff on sales as well. We try to bring people to the point. If you weren't here, don't worry. We're going to have another event in March. And we just spent some time on sales and what we need to make sales successful.
Absolutely. I think everybody is rejuvenated and they're ready to go and double those sales. You know, we had Larry Stellar every year. And, you know, Manny, you do this on purpose, don't you? You bring him in right after lunch. Right after lunch, when everybody's kind of like at a full belly and falling asleep. If you can't get energized with Larry, I don't think 2 or 3 cups of coffee is going to do the trick. Larry will do the trick. And once again, he delivered. You know, the thing that he talks about the most is plan, plan, plan. Just like real estate, location, location, location. He's plan, plan, plan. Now, you've had him a couple times, right? And he also does the masterminds with you. Is that correct?
Yeah. In fact, he did the masterminds with us last night. And Larry and I have this thing going about planning. He is with the Dream, Believe, Achieve, which we're trying to integrate into that whole failure creates success thing, because Larry's stuff, he thinks you can't ever fail. And if you plan enough, and I'm not going to argue with him too much, but I think if you're not planning, you're not stretching.
Well, that's what he said about plan. He said, you know, if your plan doesn't work out, rewrite your plan. So then he's got this, you know, sheet of paper, this worksheet, and he flips it over and he puts all the scenarios down of what possibly could go wrong. So he said, something goes wrong, you just flip over the side of the paper and you look and say, hey, we had this, and then you execute the plan, right? That's your strategy. Yeah. Now, I always use this. I think Larry would love this. Abe Lincoln, I remember reading a quote about this, said, if you were given 8 hours to cut down a tree, what would you do? And his response was, I would spend the first 6 hours sharpening the axe.
Yes.
Now, is that kind of like what Larry was talking about with planning yesterday?
Yeah, and it's the same thing I talk about all the time. You got to spend some time getting ready. And that's what planning is. It's that roadmap taking you where you want to go. Now, as Larry said, he spent 22 years
perfecting
planning this thing. And I'm like, I don't have that kind of patience. You know, if I've spent 22 days planning, for me, that's quite a bit. But it's just amazing stuff. And Larry's kind of, I would hate to fall asleep in the audience.
Yeah, no, he paces around, he'll get you there. But like you said, the last thing was mastermind. And we had that about 6 o'clock at night, 10 people, like Manny said, hung around. And what a great session. Larry was part of the session. Manny, we had a couple others that were there. I said 10 in total. And I'm telling you, there was like 3 or 4 of the people in that mastermind that all of a sudden had an aha moment that someone else in the group came up with a suggestion. Larry had a great suggestion for Orlando, which no one even thought about before. And that is by design. That's the purpose of the mastermind. Why don't you go a little bit more, Manny, about how that works?
Yeah, so when you get a group of, we had 10 people there, they're all business owners or executives. They're all sitting around. Everybody gets to talk about, this is an issue I'm dealing with. And now you got 9 other minds looking at this issue. And all of a sudden, you look at things one way, and this person says, well, why didn't you try this? Or why didn't you try that?
Exactly.
Or why didn't you do that? And you say, duh. But that's the power. That's why masterminds are such a great process.
And what's good about it is everybody is in a different vertical, meaning that their businesses are all different, but there are some solid, commonalities that you have in that. But like Manny said, hey, I didn't realize it. Somebody was in, dry cleaning, and somebody had a maid service, and somebody had, was a business broker, and who was the girl was looking for a salesperson. She looked for a salesperson. All of a sudden, 4 people said, hey, I know 3 or 4 people right away. And she didn't have to put an ad out in the paper. She's going to get 4 referrals right away. One of the better power, things about this boot camp as well is the networking. A lot of people here exchange cards. They connect it. They stay connected on LinkedIn. They come back year after year. Maybe some business connections form, right? That's one of the big benefits as well.
That's why we're here. And
look who just walked in. Here comes Todd.
I'm going to bow out, but I'll be back.
Todd, welcome. How are you?
I'm great. Good to see you, Bob.
All right. So you're a veteran of these boot camps here. I think this is, you've been to every one. This is your 3rd
3
one.
years, yeah.
Right. So why don't you tell us your name and a little bit about your business, and then maybe you could fill in some of the things that you picked up over the years in Manny's boot camp.
Great. Well, my name is Todd Hessbacher. I'm the owner of Home Run Office Products. I've been in the office products industry for 35 years. Still trying to figure it out. So far so good. It's going pretty well. I've actually reinvented myself a couple times and met Manny probably about 12 or 14 years ago when I was looking to do some different things. So he came along at the right time and helped me with that. And then came to these boot camps the first time, as you said, 3 years ago, right? And
right.
I just get lots of little tidbits, and I personally have been through many of these types of trainings before, some with Manny, some without. But each time I come back, I find tons of little tidbits, little things that I make notes on and take back with me and hopefully use those to improve my business and make for a better life.
So even though this is your 3rd one, what I'm hearing you say is that, everyone is a little bit different. Right. And so it pays to come time and time again, not only of the lessons you learn, but you're meeting new people as well, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, and there are different segments to the seminar, so there's different speakers. So it's not just Manny the whole time. He may do several different segments, but he brings other people in to do different segments as well. So you're learning a little bit from different people each year, and those people change as well. And even some of them do almost the exact same presentation over and over again. There was one gentleman in particular. Each time I hear him, I hear something different. So even though he's saying the same things, I'm picking up little pieces that I can then go back and use. So,
right.
So the repetitiveness sometimes is good, even though a lot of it is new. Sometimes the repetitive is
well, to your point, Todd, is we had Brad Thornburg here this morning, and he spoke last year. His expertise is in CRMs, customer relation management software, and there were 3 or 4 new ones that popped up since last year. So we didn't even know about them, to your point, right?
And his presentation was completely different than the way he handled things today versus a year ago. So even though he was talking about CRMs both times, completely different format.
Yeah, one of the things I got out of it is he's saying more and more of these add-on companies that are coming aboard are trying to integrate with Microsoft. I mean,
right.
The big thing going on.
He doesn't want to integrate with Microsoft, right? So,
exactly. But that's great. And then this afternoon, We have Howard Yarmish, who was actually did a hangout last week with Manny. He's here. He's doing 2 presentations. One is going to be on LinkedIn, and the other is going to be on Facebook. And we talked yesterday about Facebook. Are you on both LinkedIn and Facebook? I know you're Mr. Network.
I am, and I'm on both, and I got a lot out of his LinkedIn seminar that he did last year, and I'm looking forward to picking up some new pieces this year on that as well. So,
Well, that's terrific. Well, that's great. Well, we look forward to a great afternoon. Let's see, Tim, I see you. Come on over here.
all right, I'll bow out.
All
Good to
right,
see
great.
you.
You too, Todd. Take care. Come on, Tim. We're live. We're running live over here.
I got nothing to say.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So we talked about the mastermind last night. And Tim, why don't you introduce yourself? Good to see you.
All right, good.
Introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you.
Tim Donofrio. I do reverse mortgages for a living. Help people that are 62 and over stay in their homes and live more comfortably and financially set in their own homes.
Now, last night you were part of the mastermind program. So
Yeah.
give us a little bit of tidbit of, how it was organized, if you got anything out of it, the whole process, things of that nature.
It was a great experience for me. It was like a round table discussion, and we each went around the room rather, and each of us had a chance to discuss things that were challenges in our business, and got input from everyone else around the table on how we might be able to resolve some issues that we had or do things better. And it was really helpful for me.
You said reverse mortgage. That's what you do. You've been doing that for a while.
Yeah,
or?
over 15 years.
15 years. You know what gets me all the time is I think it's a great thing, but I think there's a misunderstanding that people don't know about reverse
There's a
mortgage.
lot of
What are some of the
misunderstanding.
like the 1 or 2 things that are the stumbling blocks for people to get over, especially because it's for mostly seniors, right?
Right, it's for seniors, and number one, a lot of times people think, well, it's like a government handout kind of a program, or that it's almost like food stamps. Or afraid to even say sometimes that that they want a reverse mortgage, or people hear the word reverse mortgage and think it's some kind of a program for low income people, and it's not. It's used across the board for people of all different kinds of backgrounds, socioeconomic levels, income levels, and a lot of people use it to help supplement their pension income and retirement savings that they have, and it allows them to be able to, rather than draw all the money out of their savings, they can take part from their house with using the reverse mortgage, part from their Social Security, part from their 401k. So it allows you to balance out where you're drawing your money from.
Now, one of the things I hear all the time, the scare techniques, is, oh, I'm going to get kicked out of my house, right?
Yeah,
Isn't that one of the stumbling blocks?
That is one of the stumbling blocks. And no, as long as people pay their taxes, the property taxes and homeowners insurance on the house, you live in the house for the rest of your life as long as you live. You just have to keep up with your taxes and insurance, and you have to do that with the taxes anyway. I mean, you have to keep up with your taxes whether you have a reverse mortgage or not. So,
That's right. I mean, even if you own your house now,
Right.
My neighbor once told me, he said, you think you own your house? I'm like,
Right.
well, when I pay it off, I will. He goes, stop paying your taxes and we'll see who
Yeah,
owns your
yes,
house.
Exactly.
So I guess
That's
it's the
right.
same thing.
It's the same thing.
Right.
So, and that's another one of the things too, that people think that you don't own your house anymore if you get a reverse mortgage, that the bank somehow owns the house, and that's not true. No different than if you were to go to the bank and get a home equity loan. So,
Right. So basically, it's like, okay, if I have, let's say, a $200,000 house and it's paid off, if I still want to live, I have to pay my taxes because you still own it.
right.
But now I don't, 200,000, if I die, that money goes to my estate. So why not take it out while I'm living to supplement the income? Isn't
Right,
that like the basic principle? Don?
It is, and it helps just people kind of live more comfortably too, because especially I don't know where people are, but here in the state of New Jersey, the property taxes are pretty high for a lot of people on a fixed income. It's not easy. So I have a lot of folks who just take out the reverse mortgage and set it up as a home equity line of credit. It doesn't have to be in a monthly payment like they show on TV.
Oh, right.
Monthly payment. But it can be set up just like a home equity line of credit, where people just draw the money when they need it. I have a lot of people who set it up and they just draw the money out when the tax bills due. They go to their home equity line of credit, the reverse home equity line of credit, draw it out, pay the taxes, and they're good to go. And the difference between this home equity line of credit and a regular bank home equity line of credit is with the FHA reverse mortgage line of credit, it grows over time. So it doesn't just stay at the same amount.
Right.
We approve you for 100,000. That's increasing by about maybe 4,000 or 5,000 per year.
That much?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I got you.
So that could be your tax bill right there.
Right
You
there.
draw all that money right off of the top, pay the taxes with it, and you're still good to go.
Well, that's perfect.
So it really works out good for a lot of people, who use it for, especially in areas where the property taxes are high.
Mhm.
Or just even to pay off, sometimes people still have a small
Right.
mortgage. And we can use it to pay off a mortgage that's on the house now. And that's probably 60% of the reverse mortgages I do are paying off some kind of mortgage that's already on the house now. Either a home equity loan they had, or maybe some residual balance of the mortgage that from when they purchased the home.
Oh, that's terrific. Well, thanks, Ken. I
Okay,
appreciate it.
all right, thank you, Bob.
Absolutely, Ken. I see Ken over here. Come on over.
Come on down.
Absolutely. We're live here once again at Coach Manny's Marketing Automation Boot Camp here in Glassboro, New Jersey. It's Friday, and we're here with Ken, who's been a veteran. This is your second one here.
Yes, my second boot camp.
So tell us, Ken, your full name and your business and what you do.
Yes, Ken Vryn with the Green Tree Accounting and Tax Services. We provide payroll, tax, and accounting services to business owners.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And if there's one thing that you got out of this boot camp so far, what would that be?
well, last boot camp I came to, I tripled my sales.
Triple.
Yeah, tripled my sales
Wow.
from last year. And and my type of business.
What was that return on investment? A couple $1,000%, basically what the cost of the boot camp was? At least, right?
Yes,
Yeah. Okay. Well,
yes.
you're a numbers guy, right? Okay. So yeah.
Once I have a client, it's repeat business from. It depends on payroll. It's biweekly. If it's monthly for accounting services, and the tax return is performed once a year. But during the year, we're constantly in contact with the client, so nothing falls through the cracks. So the client knows exactly how his financials are going throughout the year. We're able to do tax planning, etc. So once I have one client, and you maintain that client, it's repeat business from, like I say, week to week, month to month, year to year.
And Manny talked about that in his seminar as one of the
Right.
things to try to, farm your existing business as opposed to going
Right.
out to get new customers.
And
And we
once-
have to do both, but that's important.
Yes. And where it's important is they provide referrals to other clients that they come across in their businesses, and that's how I pick up other business, mainly through referrals.
Mm-hmm. All right, Sherry. I see Sherry. Come on over here, Sherry.
Take care.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks a lot. So once again, this afternoon, if you still are in the area, come down. Howie Yarmus giving 2 presentations. One on LinkedIn. Heard him last year. Phenomenal. Things I didn't know. And then second one on Facebook. Come on, Sherry. Sit down. So Sherry,
Hi.
tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me your full name. And we're live on the YouTube right
Great.
now.
Wonderful. My name's Sherry Foy with Sherry's Cleaning Service. We do residential and commercial cleaning.
Mm-hmm. And how long you been in business, Sherry?
13 years.
13 years. And this is your first automation boot camp.
It is.
How's it going so far?
Good.
Yeah?
Everything's great.
Is there
Yeah, a lot of
any
information.
one thing that you picked up that kind of stuck out already in a day and a half?
No, not one thing.
Well,
a
I
lot
know
of
one thing.
things.
Last night you were at the mastermind class, right? So how'd that go? What was that
That
about?
was great. First time I was ever at a mastermind group.
Uh-huh. And there was, I think Orlando came up with a nice tip for you,
He
right?
did,
So that'd be
yes.
good, right? See how
Yes.
that goes from there? Okay, right. So that's terrific. So now, do you just do in this area? Do you have a particular county?
We do.
So all
Gloucester-
South Jersey?
We do Gloucester County, Camden County, Burlington County,
Mhm.
some Elmer area, Salem County, but not too far.
Right. Okay. And the name of your firm again was?
Sherry's Cleaning Service.
Sherry's Cleaning Service. Well, thank you very much, Sherry. All right. Take care. Manny, here's Manny. Come on back, say a couple words. Here's more people coming in. I guess we're back from lunch break. 2 seconds, Manny. Go in here. We're filling in. We just talked about with Sherry, about the mastermind and Tim. So why don't you tell us a little bit more about Howard?
Howard is coming in this afternoon. Did you have him over here yet?
No, I didn't have him over here yet. He was here last week on the
That's
hangout.
right.
Remember?
Yeah, last week we did the
Right.
hangout. So this afternoon we're going to do social media. You want to do a few minutes here?
All right, here he is, the man himself. Oh, Howard, welcome. I saw you last week.
Thank
It was
you.
phenomenal.
Thank you.
Last year, and you know, one thing about LinkedIn that gets me, and I'm a big LinkedIn guy, they keep on changing things around. Why is that?
They do change things around. And sometimes you have to kind of think long arc, because LinkedIn knows that if they just totally mess with stuff right away, everyone's going to get freaked out. So they have to figure out, well, what we want the product to look like in a number of months, or in, you know, eventually has these different things in mind.
Okay.
So for example, the thing that they've been fighting, for lack of a better term, they've been fighting spam. So people will go onto a group and they will spam that group to death. They'll put all kinds of links on it, no interaction. They'll just join as many groups as they can and spam. So LinkedIn's trying to cut down on that. So a change that they recently made was they made groups. They're not impossible to join, but someone has to approve you. And they're all moderated. They used to be totally wide open, or you could have them moderated. Now everything has a moderator. So what that means is if you go into a group and you start spamming it with sales pitches, a moderator can kick you out, and that's it.
And you're done.
And you're done.
Oh, gotcha.
So the idea is they want the group's experience to be good. And if they can get rid of all the spam, they have a much better group's experience. So that's really what they're trying to do. The messages feature, they're trying to make messages much more real time and much more of a traditional kind of chat kind of thing. So they're making changes to the messages feature. Now, they've rolled out the changes, and some people are seeing them as the new changes, and some people aren't seeing them yet. It just depends on someone's usage of LinkedIn. So they still are maintaining two things. Also, I saw the messages feature really, really early, and I've seen it now.
Oh, you get a chance to preview it before they release it?
They look at certain users and they'll roll things out earlier to some people just to see how they respond to it. I've seen it in 5 different versions at this point.
Okay.
So when people say to me, oh, the new messages feature, how does it work? I go, well, some things still work exactly the same. And last week it worked this way, and this week it works this way, and it's still rolling out. I wait till generally that LinkedIn's been solid with it for about a month. And that's kind of keeps things interesting that way. LinkedIn's not quite solid with it yet, so I'm still waiting to have some stability in that.
Okay, well, I know you have to prepare for the seminar this afternoon. Once again, if you're in the area, you still have time, come down here. We're at Rowan's campus at the Marriott Courtyard. Howard Yarn was giving a talk on LinkedIn. We're going to take a short break, and then Facebook.
Yep.
Right. Thank you very much, Howard.
Thank you.
All right, look forward to it. Where's Grace? Come on over here. Yeah, come on. So everybody's just coming back from lunch now, you know, and it was exciting. We see what we got. Come on, sit down over here. We're live on YouTube. Tell me your name and your company again.
Raisa, Spirit Business Brokers.
Spirit, and what do you do?
Well, we just assist buyers and sellers with the process of purchasing or selling their business.
Okay, in South Jersey area or all over?
We have agents in New York, North Jersey, South Jersey, Philadelphia, Colorado. So
wow, Colorado. Do some skiing out there?
We have one agent that's working out of Colorado.
Okay, I see. So now this is your first boot camp, correct?
Correct.
And is there any one moment that got you like excited, to charged up to say, aha?
When he was talking about time management.
Time management.
And blocking out certain times for everything, even for interruptions.
Mm-hmm.
I found that very interesting. And it's true, sometimes I'm on the road, I come back to the office, have some work to do, then I have to go back on the road, and it is a little draining.
So what did he say? Wasn't he something like, if you're on the road, stay on the road? What was that thing of?
Yeah, he said, if you're on the road, stay on the road. If you're in the office, stay in the office. If you're working on something, turn off your phone and just work on that.
And just get that specific time block, and bingo, then you're good to go, right? All right, that's great. That's fantastic. And what's your position again with them?
An office manager.
Office manager.
Transitioning into an agent.
There you go. See, so this boot camp is for all walks of life, all positions. You don't have to just be an owner of a company, right? You could be an office manager and moving up. Well, thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the presentation this afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You gonna do another one?
Absolutely, right.
Okay.
We still got some time.
You're running the show here.
Have a seat. Here's another one. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Okay, what's your name?
Natima.
Latima, and what company are we, Latima?
I do a Spirit Business Brokers with Raisa, and I also do residential commercial with Keller Williams.
Oh, residential commercial. How's the market these days?
Good, pretty good. It's a hot fall market.
Awful. So this is your first boot camp, right?
It is.
And give me your impression so far.
I think it's really good. I'm getting a lot of information with the networking tips. I love that because I'm new to networking. So I was kind of shy in the beginning, but
Shy? You don't seem like the shy type of person.
you drag me down here.
Oh, I didn't drag you. You were waving your hand in the back saying, pick me, pick me. I saw that. So tell me about some things that you learned with networking.
Always smile.
Ah,
Don't have my phone in my hand when I don't have someone to talk to.
and you have such a pretty smile. Wasn't that the number one thing?
It
Smile?
was smile, smile,
Right.
smile.
Smile,
That's
smile,
what I'm going to
smile.
remember.
Well, you're in real estate, right? And it's
Yes.
location, location, location.
Yes.
So now networking, you smile, smile, smile.
Smile, smile, smile. So I got to remember to smile and not be bashful.
Right, absolutely. That's great. Okay, so was there anything that you're looking forward to in LinkedIn and Facebook this afternoon?
Absolutely. LinkedIn and Facebook, I think, is going to be very, very good, and I can't wait for it.
How does that help in your business? Have you used social media a lot?
I use Facebook now, but I don't have a business page yet. I shouldn't say that out loud.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna get-
But you will have a business page,
I
right?
will this weekend, yes.
Because I'm learning what you're going to do here. You're going to put up a great business page. You're going to use some of Janet's techniques
Mhm.
that she told you yesterday. Remember
Yes.
headline?
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, that's terrific. Phenomenal. So, well, that's terrific. I'm glad you're here, and
I'm glad to be here.
enjoy the afternoon. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right. Okay. Let's see. We're waiting for one more person to come in. Now, in the meantime, we'll just take another notch from here this afternoon. What Manny was talking about this morning was time management. And the biggest thing that he had claimed in time management was to block out a specific amount of time, to have 3 goals to do in a day, and to make sure that you complete those days. That's all about prioritization. So I may have 15 goals to do, but there's only the top 3. So I'm going to put them at the top of my list and do those 3 first. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Now, if I finish those before noon, let's say, maybe I go out and golf in the afternoon, or maybe I do 4, 5, and 6. But in any event, you have to block out a certain amount of time and concentrate. Now, Manny's technique he mentioned was he goes from his 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the afternoon. Uninterrupted time. Does that mean he doesn't take a break? No. The way he does it is he takes 50 minutes of solid uninterrupted time, 10-minute break. 50 minutes again, 10-minute break. 1 o'clock comes, he's done. He grabs some lunch, and then maybe he'll play some golf. Well, he's not that great of a golfer, but he used to be better. But now he's doing all his coaching, so he doesn't have time to golf. But in any event, if there's something that comes up in the afternoon, that's fine. If not, he already accomplished everything that he wanted to do. The other thing he said was you should write down those goals the night before. He used to do that all the time for the weekly goals on Sunday night. He used to put down what I wanted to accomplish for the week. Manny says every night you write down the goals, and then tomorrow when you wake up, you have a fresh start. You don't have to actually think about what I'm going to accomplish for the day. Just talking about your technique, from 7 to 1.
You got them, right?
I got it, but you could explain a little bit more if you want.
It's just that valuable time, We think we have to work so much because we got brought up in that type of environment. I work 6 hours a day, concentrated on what I do well, focus, no interruptions. And then if I want to work more, I work more. If I want to spend the afternoon or I just never get to the other stuff, I'm okay because I just spent 6 hours doing probably 12 hours worth of work.
Oh, by the way, when you weren't here, I threw you in the bus. I said your golf game is not as good as it used to be because you have all your time, spend all your time coaching.
There we go.
There we go.
Shoot us over there.
Oh, okay, right.
All right. I think we're ready to wrap.
We're ready to go.
Want to close this?
No, go ahead.
All right.
I was talking the whole time.
We had a great time here. If you didn't make it this year, you got to make it next time. Watch yesterday's video. Watch today's. We do these every Friday at noon. We're going to do a video. We'll be doing a lot of interviews over the next 4 to 5 weeks. So watch us, learn, and remember, if you need us, we're here because we're all interested in creating a better world and creating success. Thanks, Bob.
Don't forget Coach Manny.
There we go. Whoop.